Hi everyone! So now let's see an experiment that I will use to show you how we get a quadratic function. And Silveira is going to help me, okay? All you have to do is this: you need to get a ball. It can be a basketball or volleyball ball or soccer ball, whatever. And then you and your partner must stand this way, and then you have to throw the ball this way. And now I'll teach you how we get the quadratic function from this movement.
Now we're going to edit that part that you and your partner have recorded, okay? For this part of edition, we are going to use iMovie. So first I want you to open iMovie. And I want to import that video. Recommendation for you guys. I want to create a folder. In this case, this folder, quadratic function project. Why, mister? Because you're going to keep things inside this folder, okay? So I want to open this folder. So this folder is open, and over here we see the video that me and Silveira have recorded. So I will bring this video, and this video is over here. Now I'm going to use only the part that is important for this project. I will drag this video over here, okay, this way. Now I will select, this part is not important. Let's say, yeah, the important part begins now. So I will cut this part over here. Yes, this one. I will cut, split. I will clear this side, and I will move. Let's say, yes, only this part is important. I will put here. I will split. This part is not important. Okay. Now we see the only portion that is important for this project. Second step. Let me make this selection in slow motion. So go to this icon and speed custom, and then 10%. 10% is a good number. 10%. 10%. Okay. Now let me crop this video. Let me eliminate all this part here, the part that surrounds the video. So go to this icon, crop to fill, and let me adjust this part here, and this part over here. Let's see if everything is inside this movie. Not everything. The ball is passing. I think everything is inside. Let's see. Now let me raise a little bit more. This way. Check. Yes. Enter. Okay. The important part is here. Now we are going to find the quadratic function from this motion, from this selection. Our video is here. For this part, for this section, we're going to use QuickTime Player, and GeoGebra. Okay, so we need to get a quadratic function from this motion. So we need to get 2 points from this trajectory, from this line. Okay, from this line, we need to get 2 points from this, the way this ball goes up and down. And in order to get 2 of those points, we need to put a grid. And using this grid, we are going to find those points. So to put these grids, I want to open GeoGebra. Okay. GeoGebra. Let me clear this part. And this part is not important. Let me adjust this screen by default. So make sure that this little symbol does not appear. Okay, if you move left, right, up and down, you're going to see this symbol. This symbol means the screen is not set by default. So in order to have things set by default, I want you to press here. Okay, now using QuickTime Player, and if you go to this option, QuickTime Player, if you go to this option, File and New Screen Recording, if you press here, this software asks you to select the portion of or the region of your screen you want to record. So I will record this part over here. And here. Mister, how much time? Remember, our video has 22 seconds. So we need to record 22 or more. Okay, we need to get something equal or bigger than the original video. So I will record 23 or 24 seconds. Start recording. And now I will count 22 or 23, 24 seconds. Okay? Okay, this time has passed. So let me finish this recording. And our movie is here. Okay? Now I want to save this work. Go to the folder you opened, Quadratic Function project. I will put, let's say, grids, or grids better, and save. Okay? It's important, do not change this screen, the original screen. Do not change. Why, mister? Because you're going to record something over this screen and then you're going to overlap. Okay, so it's important for you to keep this screen the way it is. Do not change anything here. Okay, now I want to open iMovie. I want to import that second video, which is grids, and I want to drag here. Let me reduce this size. Yeah, this part is not important. So split. This one here is not important. And now this step is important. I want to go over here, video overlay settings. I want to change the opacity. Let's say something like this, and go to this option, cropping, and crop to fill. This way, crop to fill. And now our video is here. Okay, our video is over here. Remember, this ball makes this trajectory. Okay, in other words, this ball passes through infinite points, and we need to find 2 of those points. The first point that's very, very important, actually, we don't get this function without this point, is this one here. The location where the ball reaches the highest height, which is this one here. So point 1 and 5.5. So let me take note. 1 and 5.5. This location in math we call a vertex. So this point here, 1 and 5.5, is the vertex. Now we need to get another point. This point, I will use this one here. The location where the ball crosses x-axis. So this one here. I'm using -4 and 0. -4 and 0. Okay? So let me recap. For this graph, you need 2 points. The location where the ball reaches the highest height, or the vertex. Okay? In this case, in my graph, this case is point 1 and 5.5. And another location is where the ball crosses x-axis. In this case, in my motion, -4 and 0. And then from these points, we are going to find the function related to this motion. Okay? Now, in the next part of this video, I'll teach you how we get the quadratic function from that motion. Okay? I'm using points -4 and 0 and 1 and 5.5. Obviously, in your case, you're going to use different points because your movie is different to mine. And from these 2 points, I'll teach you how we get the quadratic function. Now let's see how we find quadratic equations from having this information, a point and the vertex. This vertex is an important information. Without the vertex, we are not able to find the quadratic function using this formula, okay? So remember, the vertex is this lowest point when the graph has this shape, a concave up. So the vertex is going to be this location or this point. And when the quadratic function has this graph, okay, when the concave is open downwards, the vertex is going to be the highest point, which is this location over here. Since our graph has this shape, we need to get this point, the vertex. And we have this point. This point is 1 and 5.5. Okay, we got this point from our experiment. And we do have x-intercept. Okay, we have this location when the graph intercepts the x-axis. So we have everything we need in order to get the quadratic function. So in order to avoid confusions and using this formula, we are calling the x-intercept x and y. So the x-coordinate is 4 and y-coordinate is 0. And age is 1 and k is 5.5. Why all these letters? Because all these letters appear on the formula. Okay, y equals a times x minus h is squared plus k. So x and y is from the point or x-intercept, and age and k is from the vertex. Now our mission is to get a number a, because we don't have this number. We have y, we have x, we have age, we have k, but we don't have a. So let's get this number. So I'm going to use this formula. The formula is y equals a times x minus age is squared plus k. The number y, we have y is 0, or y is 0, so I'll put 0 over here. We don't have a, so a stays the same. X is -4, minus age is 1, or age is 1, so 1 goes here, is squared plus k. Now 0 equals a, and now 4 minus 1 is -5 is squared plus 5.5. Why 5.5? Because k is 5.5. 0 equals a times -5 is squared is 25 plus 5.5. 0 equals 25a plus 5.5. Now I will subtract 5.5 from this side and 5.5 from this side. Now I have negative 5.5 equals 25a, and dividing this side by 25 and this side by 25, a is going to be negative 5.5 divided by 25. Now we've got everything we need in order to find our function. The function is going to be y, quadratic function, y equals number a we've just found is this number here, negative 5.5 over 25 times x minus h. What is h? H is 1, is square it plus 5.5. So here we see our quadratic function related to that experiment. Okay, so y means all the y numbers, because remember that line has infinite y numbers. So this letter y represents all that numbers, and this number x represents all x numbers from that line, from that trajectory. Now we need to plug in this number, or this expression, I mean, in GeoGebra in order to find the graph. Okay, in the next video I will explain how we do that. Okay, my function has been found. What is the next step? We need to graph that function. So I open GeoGebra and I will put here the function I found in the previous part of this video. The function is y equals negative 5.5 divided by 25, parenthesis, x minus 1 is square it. So I open this keyboard, square it, close this keyboard, plus 5.5. Okay, here we see the line associated to that ball, okay, the ball trajectory. Now let me record this screen. So go to QuickTime Player, File, New Screen Recording. Let me select this region. Okay. See guys, that's why it's important to keep exactly the same screen, the first screen and second screen, because now we're going to overlap them. So they must be the same in order to have exactly the same image, okay? So do not change the first screen and second screen. Now let me record. We need to record 21 seconds or a little bit more. So let me start recording now. So then I will stop this recording, save this work. So name is graph, and save. Let me go back to iMovie. This part is not necessary anymore, so I will cut. And now I will drop our bring that part graph. And I will drag this part I will cut this unnecessary part. And now I will change the opacity using this option, this one here, this option, opacity. So I'll change opacity. I will make sure that my video is cropped to fill, and it is cropped to fill, that's okay. And let's see if everything is working. And voila! Now we see the graph of that ball, the graph of the trajectory of this ball, or the line this ball makes going up and down. And now we have the function related to that graph, to that line, okay? Now it's your turn to get exactly the same thing. I want to find the graph, and the quadratic function that that ball makes, okay? So let's get started.